Hey friends, so today we're going to be talking about the things that we listen to, the things that we consume, I guess. So the way that I do these little chats, the little ones or the long ones, is I try to keep myself fully open to listening to what God is saying or would have me to say. So it's just a constant thing of if I hear a little thing or I think a little thing, I will kind of process it and see if maybe I should go farther with it. But sometimes it hits instantly. Like as soon as I will think something or, hear something, I'll be like, yes, I need to do that one. And I just try to keep myself open to that. So yesterday when I was on the treadmill, I was listening to, and I don't even remember what song it was. I think I screenshotted it while it was playing because it did hit me about that I needed to do this video. But it was Christian music, and I just automatically, I was in a moment, and I just felt God's presence so strongly. You are what you consume is what instantly went through my head through that moment of worship, even though I was on the treadmill working out, because it is so true. Used to, when I ran, I would listen to, I guess, what is it called, secular music or something, worldly music, stuff that I used to listen to when I was a teenager, or when I was a teenager, when I just felt like I had to listen to that in order to work out, because it drove me to want to work out. And like Christian music, I felt didn't have that motivation in it, even the good upbeat music. And music is more than just church hymns, which I love, by the way. I love church hymns, but there is some, but there's not many that you can really work out to and run to, or I can't anyways. I need music that drives me and has a beat that kind of goes with, my running pace and all of that. So I used to listen to more secular type of music. Even as a Christian, I done that. And I'm not going to say that I don't listen to stuff like that at all. We listen to old rock and stuff quite often. I do think that most of today's music is not great. If you really listen to it, most of it is very worldly and has deals with lots of drinking or sexual activity or just things that are not morally correct or definitely not biblically correct. So I do think that new age music is the worst. It's terrible. Even country music, they have tainted it with, it's just full of cheating and just drinking and everything like that. So I was always okay, I have to listen to this in order to work out because I need the drive. And that was my justification with it. I never really felt convicted with it. But last little while, I have been, I don't know, God has really just been showing up and just showing me that I haven't been exactly what I'm supposed to be or the picture of what I should be. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm far from perfect. I could list you a million things that I do wrong. But I'm always trying to do better. And if you're not trying to do better, that's when you start failing. If you're not trying to do better in life, that is where you stop growing, right? Your roots can't go no deeper if you're not trying to become a better person. And so when I first started running a few weeks ago, I was like, okay, we're not going to go back to that. We're not going to listen to the music we used to listen to. We're going to find music. There's plenty of it out there nowadays that you can listen to keep you going and keep you upbeat. And we're not just trying to do this for our body. We're also trying to make our soul healthier. So we're not going to be tainting our soul with bad music while we're trying to make ourselves healthier, if that makes sense. I made a video on TikTok talking about it and asked people for some recommendations. I had people send me recommendations. I found some on my own, and so I've built this beautiful playlist of super upbeat workout music. And then yesterday I was running on the treadmill, all the songs are good, but whatever that song was, it came on and it was just so good. I had to stop running because I just had a moment of just being so thankful for God, and I was overwhelmed with emotions. I just automatically was hit with, you are what you consume. I could have been listening to the music that I used to listen to, and I'm not gonna lie, when you listen to stuff like that, even if you're working out, you start to get an ego boost. It's not the best thing. Ego boost can be great because it's okay to feel okay about yourself and to want to do better, but it can also be toxic. And the music that I used to listen to after I worked out, I would be feeling some kind of way, and it was necessary, not in a terrible way, but it was more like me focused, if that makes sense. And with the music that I've been listening to, it's completely un-me focused, and I just feel like I'm getting to my workout in, I'm getting to worship, and I'm just completely renewed after a workout. And so I wanted to just share that, you are what you consume. If you listen to bad music, if you listen to bad TV shows, or you're scrolling through stuff and you're consuming that, and you're reading books about that. It's just one that I was also dealing with, because I've read some pretty books, and that's something that started really, I was feeling convicted about. I don't know, I think it started sometime last year that I was really felt convicted about that. Now, I will still read like mainstream books, but when stuff starts popping up in those books that is very descriptive and stuff that I don't want to envision in my head and be there, I would just skip ahead. And if I miss a good part, I miss a good part. Because I still want to read the story, but I don't want of it, And so it really started with the books, and then as I was getting into running again, I was just like, I cannot try to get healthier if it's going to make my soul unhealthy or just dirty up my spirit. And so I quit listening to it. I think I completely deleted my old running playlist. And I just have one called Running Faithfully, and it's just upbeat music that is just very much God-centered music. And it has just helped me so much just feel better. And, my workouts aren't just a physical workout now. They're like little moments of worship, and they feel so good to me. So, the Bible says in Proverbs 4:23, it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. That includes things that you listen to as far as music, TV shows, scrolls. I know that on the internet, sometimes stuff can just be popping up. Like, people will steal accounts. I had a goat account on Instagram that I used to follow, and I guess that they got hacked. And I popped open Instagram one day, and the very first video I seen was it was a pretty much naked woman, just all up in my face. Yeah, she was there. Yeah, it was there. And so I just unfollowed that. But sometimes it's not a choice for it to be in your face, but it is a choice to continue on with it. And so, it's what you consume goes farther than food. It's a lot to do with everything. So I just say to be very careful about what you allow into your heart and your mind. And if you don't think it'll make a difference, like Caleb used to do this thing, and they might still do it at the beginning of the year, where you make a vow to only listen to Christian music for that entire month, and to see how it changes your life. And I'm going to challenge you that if you listen to music that you maybe shouldn't, if you watch TV shows that maybe you shouldn't, or you're scrolling stuff that maybe you shouldn't, maybe take a week, just a week, okay? Because if you try to do it for a long period of time, sometimes we just automatically be like, can't do it, and you won't do it. So take a week and do not consume it at all. Like, my rule of thumb is if you wouldn't watch it or listen to it in church comfortably. Now, you don't have to go to church in order to live by this. You know what would be good and appropriate for church. So if you wouldn't listen to it or watch it in church, don't do it for the next week, and see how much better you feel. I just that little tweak of stopping listening to secular music has been such a game changer for me. So I just challenge you to go 1 week without it and see how much better you feel. Just take a week and don't listen to it, and see if it can change you for the better in some way, because what you consume, and that goes farther than food. That it's definitely deeper than just food. So that's just my little encouragement for you today, is to be careful what you consume, because it makes a bigger difference in our life than we know it does. Bye for you.